Oh, hold on. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome Esther. You just joined us. So we have our speaker here, Temitope, who is an expert social media manager. Funny how we met, but I think we met on LinkedIn, but she's really, really good. She also mentored last year cohort for social media management, and most of our students are really doing well. I can see that. So, thank you, Temi, for accepting our invite to come talk on the topic power of clear communication in the workspace. So, I'll leave you to do more introduction of yourself, and yes, you can get started. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Uche, for that. I am really honored to be here one more time, and I especially welcome everyone that has joined this workshop. Yeah, it's a workshop. I especially welcome everyone that has joined this workshop, and I look forward to having an amazing time with everybody. Please permit me to share my screen. Can I go ahead to do that? Hi, Uche. Can I go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, please, you can share your screen.
Okay, thank you. So I would be doing that right now. Mm. Oh, okay, perfect. So I'll be going straight to my slides. Yeah. Please, can you see my slides clearly? I just want to confirm that we can. I think speaking would do, because I won't be going back to the
Yes, you can see your
seeing.
screen.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So once again, good evening everyone. My name is Temitope, and today I'm going to be speaking on the power of clear communication at your workplace. um I'll start by introducing myself. Even though Uche has said like a bit of it, yeah, I'm an experienced communications lead. I've had the privilege of leading about 2 teams so far, in the space of 4 years. Yeah, by the way, I started my journey about 4 years ago, and my story is quite interesting, right? Because I started as a content writer at a community which I still belong to currently. And from being just a content writer, I got an offer to, be the social media manager for the community. And at a point, we were doing routine, we were kind of having community management work, and I was also opportune to, manage the community for I think probably a month or something. But it was really an exciting time and exciting season for me, because even though I was just starting out at that point, I knew what I was doing, and I got help from people that were experienced also, right? So from being the social media manager of the community, I later became the editorial director. And yeah, editorial director. And at the time, I was overseeing quite a number of things, right? And at a point, I just tried to, coin a word for what I was doing, and I saw that it's worked well in the media and communication space, right? And at that time also, I was doing my usual job. By the way, what the job I was talking about was voluntary, right? So I was doing it out of my love for the things I do, especially when it comes to communications, when it comes to media. And it's really shaped my career, right? And so far so good. I can say that if given the chance, I will lead a team effectively. And Yeah, I've been doing that, but I just believe that there's this power communications have. Now, communications in this aspect, what I'm talking about right now is like clear communication, you communicating with people, you talking about things that are going on with you, and you trying to get feedback from other people. As we go on in today's session, you would understand better. And also an eloquent public speaker, which was how I think Uche saw me. I can't remember, but I know we met on LinkedIn, and yeah, it's been an exciting journey ever since. So I will just go straight into it. I don't have much slides. As you can see, I have just 8 slides because the other 2 slides are not part of this particular session. So let's get right into it. Now there is this quote that says, "Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity." And I'm going to be making this so relatable because I believe as creatives, we should be able to relate to so many things. What does this quote mean? So let's say, for instance, I have, okay, Uche told me I was going to be taking a session on communication. And when she was telling me, she did not tell me what date it would be. She did not ask to know if it was going to be okay, for if the timing was going to be okay, let's say the date and the time. And let's say she did not even ask if I was even available at all. I'm sure this particular session would not have been put together, because of course she only told me I was going to be taking a session, but she did not give me other information. And let's even say she did not even tell me that I was going to be speaking to the women at She Code Africa, right? I might probably have, created let's say slides that would speak to just to everybody, or let's say that will speak to men. And by the time I get here, I'll just see that, oh, okay, this is a workshop for women, but I believe we have guys on the calls also, we have men on the call also. And even though she told me that there's going to be a session, she was not really clear on what the session is going to be about. Or let's even say she never tell me about the topic. This is what this particular quote is about, and it's also going to be I'm also going to be sharing more details about how we need to have clear communications in our workplaces. So my next slide now, I would move straight into what we have today. So the key elements of clear communication. The first word, of course, is that your message has to be clear. Whatever you are saying, whatever you are trying to tell your boss, or trying to tell your colleague, or trying to tell your yes, your colleagues, or let's say you are presenting something and you are passing an information across, it has to be clear. What do I mean? Let's say now um you are having a you are supposed to be at a meeting at your workspace, right? And for some reasons rain decided to fall, and you could not make it to the office on or before 8 a.m. Let's for those that go to the office by 8 a.m. You could not make it to the office on or before 8 a.m. and you just sent a message to your boss saying, "Hello, sir," or to your HR saying, "Dear HR, unfortunately, I'll not be able to get to the office at 8 a.m. See you soon." Please, how is that communication clear? It is not clear at all. Okay, HR knows that, okay, rain is falling, but you are not making it known that it is because of the rain. HR could feel, oh, okay, it's Monday morning, probably she's doing something else, or probably she has another interview she's going for, right? Especially for those that might be struggling with their current work. I'm sorry. So, yeah, so your communication has to be extremely clear. There is nothing stopping you from saying, "Dear HR, I'm extremely sorry, I'll be coming late, or I'll be getting to the office later than expected because of the heavy downpour. I'm currently at so so so, and it's not very easy to navigate through this particular road. I hope my whatever." You can just, create a message to state why you would not be at the office at that particular time that you're supposed to get to the office. Of course, like I said, the HR knows that it's raining, but there's a meeting, and if HR is not seeing any reason why she other staff should not be at the office, why she's already at the office or he is already at the office, then you would definitely not see that formal message as something really solid. So when passing an information across at your workplace, you have to be clear and you have to be concise. What do I mean? It has to be specific. It has to be straight to the point. Don't start beating about the bush. Don't start beating around the bush. Saying, I'm sorry, I want to be at the workplace. When I woke up this morning, I took my bath, I did this, I did that, I prepared food, and by the time I got outside, it was already raining. So I decided to wait behind. Probably that's a long scene. So when trying to communicate, when trying to give clear information at your workplace, you have to be concise, go straight to the point, so that when HR or when your boss is even reading your mail, they already know what they are in for. They already know why you are sending the mail. They already know why you are reaching out to them, right? And your information has to be complete. um before I continue, please, can anyone still hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So your information has to be complete. Like I said, you don't just state that you won't be at your workplace. You have to state the reasons, and you have to give them, let's say, an or let you can just give them a time frame. Say, okay, since you can't be at the office at 8 and you're currently stuck in traffic, but you are like 30 minutes away from your office, looking at the traffic, let's say Lagos right now, looking at the condition, you can use your map to have an estimated time of arrival for that particular day, right? So you can just let your CEO or your HR know that you would be at the office at so time. So if you are not even at the office at that time, it is wise, it is going to be wise for your HR or your CEO, whom you have had spoken to before, to reach out to you to be sure that you are safe. That is one of the reasons why you have to be clear when communicating with your when communicating at your workplace. And it's not just about reaching out to your HR. Now, I'm not talking about communication at your workplace with your team lead, with your HR, or with your boss alone. No, even amongst your colleagues, there are so many times where we don't have much access to our CEO like that. You could easily talk to somebody amongst your colleagues and just let the person know that, oh, okay, so is happening. I'm still going to be talking about how you can communicate effectively even within the workspace, like why you are at work or something. So is happening, and this is why you're not yet at the office, right? And let's say in the next 30 minutes you're going to be at the office. In case you do not reach out in the next 30 minutes, they should put a call through to you. And this applies to everyone, even when we are in danger, right? God forbid that anyone gets into danger. That is why, for instance, if you are using the Bolt app, or let's say Uber, there is a feature that allows you to share your ride location with anybody, right? It's just for security purpose. It's just for communication purpose. You telling the person that, okay, I'm accountable to you. Trying to, I'm inside this cab right now and I don't know what's going to happen. This is just me sharing my location with you, sharing my details with you, right? We don't have to be in danger to be doing that, of course. So at the workplace also, whatever information you are passing across has to be complete. Please don't give half information. Don't give half information. Then organize. It has to be organized. You don't want to send a mail at 7, let's say 7:30, saying you are currently at, I'm going to be using Highland for example now. Let's say you are going to VGC, right? And you are telling your boss that you are currently at let's say Marwa, that's around Lekki. Yeah, you are currently at Marwa, and the next time you are sending a message, you are saying you are just you just passed through Ikoyi. Like How does that make sense? Obviously, you are leaving Ikoyi before you get to Mara, right? So you have to be really, really organized with your communication, and don't give them a reason to doubt you. Yes, if you are trying to pass any message across, you should not give the receiver, a reason to doubt you. So these 4 points are my key elements of clear communication. Of course, you could have others, but for me, these 4 points, these 4 tips work well. And now let's talk about clear communication when you're at work. Now, for most of us, we work remotely, right? And I'm going to be using myself as an example. For a very large part of my life, I've worked remotely. The only time I got to work physically was when I was working at a company, and that was last year. But I'm going to be specific on remote work. We know how Nigeria could be, especially if you are in the parts where network connection is really, really poor. Now, fine, everyone knows network is poor in your place, but you still have to state it. Let's say you have to meet up with a deadline at 12 p.m. tomorrow, and as at 11:50 p.m. this night, you don't have a stable network to get on with your deliveries. It is very important for you to find a means to reach out to your employer, or to reach out to your manager, or to reach out to your clients. For those that are working as freelancers, it's very important for you to reach out to them and let them know what's happening with you. You don't just assume they should know that this is Nigeria. Now, let's even say you're working for an international brand, or your employer is in the UK, for example. They don't want to know that you're having network issues. They are paying you. So it's either you solve your network issue, or you look for a workspace with a stable network. Now, 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago, I needed to do some work, right? And I knew that network at my place was very bad, and there was no light. So I asked a few friends, and they told me, okay, there was a workspace, or there is a workspace close to where I stay. And the first question I asked was, do they have stable electricity? Hope it's not the kind of workspace you enter, and for the first 30 minutes there won't be lights. They would say they are managing for, especially at this period when Nigeria is going through it, right? And the person told me that no, that they have a stable electricity and Wi-Fi. So I was like, is their connection strong? He said yes, there isn't Starlink. Lo and behold, I went to this workspace. When I got there, generator was not on and there was no light. So I asked the receptionist. She was like, oh, that is because people are not yet at the workspace. So it was okay for me to have asked, because what I was coming with, the mindset I was coming with, was that there was electricity, that they do have 24 hours electricity. So when I got there and she told me that, oh, okay, it's because people are not yet here, that's why generator is not yet on, I was calm. So I sat, and they went to switch on generator for just one person, right? So later on, I logged into their network, whatever, and at a point, people started coming in. That was after classes, right? People started coming in, and I saw that, oh, okay, these people, I can trust them with their words and everything, right? So at a point, Starlink started misbehaving, and I became frustrated because I needed to do my job ASAP and just get out. And then I reached out to the receptionist. I said, what's happening with your network, your internet? They said they're so sorry that this is an unforeseen circumstance. They don't know what is wrong. And prior to that time, I already have like a personal experience with Starlink, and it's going off and on. So I really did not fight them or anything. So I just sat, hoping the internet to come up back, but this thing did not come up. So I just had to switch back to my network, and I used my own internet to finish up my work. But what's the essence of what I'm trying to say? I There was clear communication, between the two of us, and I was able to tell her about my disappointments. Yeah, first of not getting electricity immediately I got there. I was disappointed at first, but I had to like ask questions to know why. That is why whenever you're communicating with anybody, you have to ask questions, inquisitive, right? You need to ask questions, get the answers you need. Even if the answer they give is not clear, ask again. Tell them this is not what you want, that this is your question and you need so answer to this, right? So it saves you a lot of headache, right? It saves you a lot of headache and it removes stress from your life. Because of our time, I'll be moving on to the next slide. This is a more explanatory scenario, right? I love to make my classes or my sessions really practical. If anyone was at my mentorship session at She Code Africa Asaba, you know what I'm talking about. So this is the sender. Now Temi is the sender. That's me. Then Uche is the receiver. I'm using Uche right now. Now I'm sending a message to Uche asking about something, and I need an answer like ASAP. I need an answer. I know Uche is not very good at using WhatsApp. So what's the best channel, or what's the best way to reach out to Uche to communicate effectively with her, to be able to communicate effectively with her? Probably a call. Now, this is just an example. I'm not saying this is who Uche is or this is who Temi is, right? So I'm trying to reach out to Uche, and the best way to reach out to her is via a call. Now, let's go back to that scenario where I said I needed to get on a meeting at the office at 8 and I was stuck in traffic as at 7:30, and it's still like 30 minutes or 45 minutes drive away to my workplace. At that point, I would not want to send a WhatsApp message to Uche at all. I would just put a call through to her straight up, because I know sending a WhatsApp message might just be a waste of time and she might not even read the message until the next day. So you need to understand the channel, the best way to communicate with whoever it is you're going to be communicating with at your workplace. For instance, if you are inside the office and you have different sections, let's say the design team, they have their section, the marketing team, they have their section, engineering team, they have their section. And you know that once you are at work, the design team members, they don't like to be disturbed. Like, they don't like it when people go into their workspace, opening the door and distracting them. The best way to do it is either to send a mail or to send a message on WhatsApp. So by doing that, you're not crossing your boundaries, right? Because if you say, oh, it's very urgent, or it's urgent, we're in the same office, I need to quickly reach out to them, I need to go open the door, you already know the rules, that you don't open the door, you don't disturb them while you are at the workspace. So the best channel, you need to understand the best way to speak to your colleagues, the best way to reach out to your boss, the best way to reach out to your clients. I know quite a number of people that once it's weekend, they don't like opening their mails. So if you are trying to reach them urgently on a weekend and you are sending them mails, you are wasting your time. You are not even communicating well. So you are wasting your time. Okay, fine. You might have sent a long message explaining your predicament or what you need at that point, but you are not using the right channel you needed or you need to use at that particular point, right? So after sending a message or after communicating with the person, you need to receive a feedback from them. Did they respond? Don't just assume people already saw your messages or people already understood what you said. No, you need to get a response. Is it clear? That's like the simplest statement you can use to get a feedback, to be sure that the person you are communicating with got what you said. Is it clear? Do I need to repeat myself? Is there any part of my message you need me to repeat? Please don't assume people are listening. Now, it's funny how as creatives, right, we feel, oh, after sending message, a lot of people on WhatsApp, their read receipt is always off, right? So they probably opened your message and not respond. It is not true. There are a lot of messages right now on my WhatsApp, I think 200 and something, and I've not opened them, but merely looking at it, you think, oh, she has gotten it, it has been delivered. So obviously she must have opened it. Probably she ignored, or she could not just respond at that time. No, I did not open your message. Oh, I have not gotten to it, and I probably might not get to it. That's why most times I tell people, if you want to reach out to me, you reach out to me on WhatsApp. There are other channels I use. LinkedIn, for instance, I respond to messages quickly on LinkedIn, Instagram. And if you are sending me a message on Facebook, it's a waste of time because I can't even remember the last time I opened that platform. And when it comes to telling me something physically, there are times where when I don't like to, get messages, I don't like to have conversations. And once I tell you, I'm sorry, at this particular point, I might not be able to listen to what you're saying. Probably I'm trying to, think through something, or I'm trying to work on something, or I'm just having a breakdown or something at that particular point. And I know that if you should tell me something right now or at that moment, it probably would just enter my left ear and go out to the right. I probably might not be listening, right? So I've made it clear that I don't want messages at that point. And if you really, really need to talk to me, probably send a message or something. And if you tell me it's urgent, I would obviously listen to you. But if it is not urgent and you're sharing something with me, I might just even get angry or hungrier, if there's a word like that. So your context also, like what I said, whatever you're trying to pass across at that point is important also. Then the environment, wherever you are at that point, or wherever your receiver is at that point. For instance, a particular friend of mine went to camp, right, NYSC, and she told me, she was ranting to me yesterday. She was telling me that our boss was not considerate, that she went to service. And I asked, I said, did you let them know? Yeah. And she said, yes, she sent a message to them that she was going to camp. And everybody knows how camp, yeah, NYC camp looks like sometimes. And she even said the only reason she was able to join the meetings was because she was part of OBS. And if she had been doing the parade or something, what do they call that thing? If she had been doing that, there's a high chance of them not even getting to reach her. So she said this, and one of our team leads still said she was inefficient with her job after dropping content calendar for them, right? And it was not like she was not posting. Now, she was posting because she's their social media manager currently. She was posting, but she could not attend some of the meetings. I think maybe network or time constraints and everything. She told me, and I was like, okay, you just need to take it easy with these people. I told her some of the things she needed to do, and I'm yet to get a feedback from her. My bad. I'm yet to get a feedback from her to know how that went. So there was communication. Probably it was not clear. Probably the receivers did not receive it well. They just got the message that she was going for service, and maybe they forgot probably they forgot how camp would be, and they just felt, oh, this girl is inefficient, she does not know how to make use of her communication skills at work, right? By the way, communication skill is one of the soft skills we need to have as creative. We have problem solving skills and the rest, right? So this particular slide is just a scenario on how you need to communicate clearly, and how your receiver needs to perceive your message. They need to receive it well, and also share a feedback to be sure that they've received your message. So the next step, or the next slide, is going to be on effective listening, and this is particular about let's say is it particular to the yes, it should be particular to the receiver, but it's important for you also as the sender to have this skill, right? So listening is a key component of communication. Of course, anything we are saying, we need the receiver to listen. And without effective listening, communication can break down and affect productivity and work relationships. Now, what does this mean? If the person you are speaking to is on AirPod, and you think you are telling the person about something that is important to you, and you see that the person is dancing, the person is just smiling. You're thinking, this person is listening, or you're giving the person gist. Let's even go down to that particular part. You're giving the person gist. The person is just smiling, and you are not facing the person. You're just saying it. You know how we can be walking and saying things, right? The person can just be looking at you. The person is on AirPod or the person is on headset, and you think the person is listening. The person is not listening. No, the person is just looking at you and smiling, probably looking at what you are doing, admiring what you are doing, and the person is not just listening, right? So, as a receiver or as a sender, listening is very important. Listening skill, effective listening is very important, right? So, if the person you are telling about how your day went, or okay, let's even take it down to our relationships, right? Friendships, or let's say relationship generally. If you are telling someone about your day and the next response you get is something like, it is well. When you've given that person gist, finish, and the person is just telling you it is well, won't you feel bad? Of course you feel bad, because it shows that that person was not listening at all. Because how would I give you hot gist and you'll be telling me it is well? I need you to respond back. I need you to tell me something sweet also that would excite me, that would lift up my mood, right? So effective listening is very important, and there are techniques to this particular thing. Now, when speaking with someone one-on-one right now, even if it's video call or something, maintain eye contact. Don't assume people are listening to you. Talk to them eyeball to eyeball. Let them let them know that you are speaking to them, and be sure that they are listening to you. Then paraphrase for clarification. Let's say you said the whole gist, or you said the whole everything you needed to say at that point, and the person said they understood. You still need to paraphrase for them to be for you to be sure that they got what you are talking about, right? And like I said earlier, ask questions. Oh, it is extremely important to ask questions. Even in class, they always tell us, ask questions. If you don't ask questions, it shows that okay, you understand, right? But then asking questions make more sense, right? It means your lecturers are not just speaking to the walls, they are speaking to people that understand what they people that understand what they are talking about, and people that would love to know more about what they've spoken about, right? So these three tips are my top techniques for effective listening and communication, right? And I'll be moving on to the next. Yes. Now, a case study. I think I've said a lot at this point, so I just want to use one more case study. Okay, fine. I'm going to be using my personal experience. Yeah. So there was this time I was supposed to work on a project, right? And this person reached out to me was it last week or last 2 weeks? Yeah. I knew I was going to do something for them, but as at when we had the conversation, they did not tell me when it was going to be. So she reached out to me a few weeks back, and she told me, oh, they are ready now and they would want the project to start in April. And immediately I heard April, I knew, hey, woman, come here. April cannot work for me because I'm starting my exams at that time. And I just told her straight. I said, sorry, but April won't work for me. I would have loved to do weekends, but weekends are days I used to rest. And I don't want to overwork myself even during exams, right? And immediately she understood. She was like, oh, exam period, even if it's her also, she would not have obliged to that or accepted the offer, right? And it was really it was a smooth conversation, yeah. And we had to, reschedule. She said is June going to be a great time for me. I said, oh, June is too far, let's do May. And she accepted. As I speak with her, I think they're already making plans on providing resources for the project and all, right? So there was she told me what she wanted. She told me about what she wanted, and I responded by letting her know that that particular time is not going to work for me. And immediately we sorted the issue. Unlike, okay, rather than you saying, oh, okay, April, oh, is in exams, I don't have exams every day, I can still juggle things. But then it gets to April and you are struggling to balance things up. They will not suffer. Oh. You are struggling to balance things up when you could have left one thing for the other, right? So while at work or while doing something, while on a project, even if it's communicating with your colleagues at work, say you're not feeling too well and you needed to submit. I mean, why do I keep using submit? Okay, say you're not feeling too well and your days at the office is always your day at the office is always on a Tuesday, and on that Tuesday you're not feeling too well. Truthfully, oh, not the one that you're you're just putting up that you're not feeling too well. Truthfully, you're not feeling too well on Tuesday, and you wanted to reach out to someone. You know you should reach out to the HR, of course, but you have a bestie or some your work buddy or body, what do they call that thing? Yeah, body. You have a work body. You need to tell about your absence. You know that it's important for you to reach out to that person and say, "Oh, hi, Temi. Unfortunately, I won't be at work today because I'm not feeling too well. I will try to cover up some of my tasks virtually and reach out to you if there is any issue." Of course, you are telling your HR so, and your HR could send a response back to you that, oh, it's unlike you to miss work days like this, blah blah blah. It's okay if you don't do anything, just take your time to rest and come back to the office whenever you are ready or whenever you are well. Of course, you already know that next Tuesday you have to be well. Oh. You have to be well because they are paying you for this thing, right? So you need to put some of these things into consideration when trying to you know to start work or when trying to take excuse or anything. And with that, we come to the end of our session. Thank you so much for listening. I do hope I did justice to the topic, but in case we have questions, please, we can start asking our questions, and you can do well to connect with me on Twitter and on LinkedIn. Thank you very much. I would be back on the page right now. Hi, Uche. Are you here? Hi, Uche. Is he here? Okay. Someone has a question. Let me see. Please ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for this in-depth session. My question is, if you have been communicating clearly with somebody in the workplace, like
Yep.
you've been telling them, let's do this, and you are specific about it, you don't beat around the bush, you go straight to what it is you are suggesting or what needs to be done, and the person keeps ignoring, doesn't say anything, keeps
Okay.
ignoring. What does somebody do in that situation?
Hmm. So you've always been sharing your messages clearly. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yes,
And the person keeps ignoring.
yes. Doesn't treat the matter,
Have
just
you have
shows it
you
aside.
Okay, have you tried to speak to the person on that particular issue to know why the person keeps doing that?
Well, I haven't taken it a step further by asking them why they keep doing that, but I feel that since somebody is coming to you clearly, communicating clearly, giving you specifics, breaking it down that this is what needs to be done, and they are still ignoring, it's kind of annoying and
Okay.
discouraging. Yes. So, what
Yeah.
does somebody do in that situation?
Okay. Um, Honestly, the best part of this is for you to probably write to the person. Don't, if you cannot do it physically, just write to the person. Yes, you could send a mail. I think that is quite official, right? So send a mail and you could copy your HR. Or is it your HR?
No, it's not my HR.
Okay, so you could copy your HR or someone that is at a higher position or that is holding a higher position, at the office or at your workplace, right? So just copy the person and let them know that you have been trying to communicate with this person and the person keeps ignoring your messages. So as not to so that the person will not later paint you as the bad person or the person that is not efficient with our job. Do you understand? You just need to
Yes.
speak with the person. You need to have a discussion with the person. That is like what we are still talking about. Now, if the person does not respond to you, your HR has seen it. So if anything happens, your HR knows that okay, she cannot say she did not see the message. Do you understand? After sending the message, you could also speak to the HR physically, or probably speak to the HR physically first. Then let her know you'll be sending a message or a mail to the person and you'll be copying her. She might even tell you to copy her. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Does
Thank
that
you.
answer your question?
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome. Any other person, please? Please let's ask our questions. The questions are really important at this stage. If you have your question, you can just raise your hand. Please, I'll be waiting if you have questions. And if you don't have, Uche, I think, yeah,
Yes.
I've delivered. Thank you. So you can just take over from here. Thank you very much. I noticed you went off at a point.
Yes, my network was
Oh,
not.
I see.
I mean, I'm really
No
sorry
problem.
about that.
No
Thank you for
problem.
that great section. At least, and I know better how to communicate and how to approach. I like the question that the other lady asked. So, how to approach when you're communicating well, but the other person, I don't know if that's the question. The other person is not really like the communication is okay, but the person is not still understanding something like that. So,
Mm.
thank you very much for the session. And thank you everyone for joining the session. If you have any questions, please do ask or you drop it in the chat box. Or if you're in our community, just drop it in the community and I'll send it to her so she can answer. I am Tammy. I don't know if you dropped your social media handles so they can follow you. And
Um, I'm going to share my slides with you, Uche. So yeah, but let me just type it in the chat box. So my LinkedIn is Temitope Olubiire for anyone that wants to follow me on LinkedIn, right? So thank you very much. But I'm going to be sending these slides to Uche. I think Uche, you'd have the record of everybody that registered, right?
yes, I do.
Okay. So you could just share with them. Thank you very much. And
Yes.
thank you everybody for staying tuned to to my session. I appreciate you. I think I would just leave from here. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining. Do have a great night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And see you guys at the top. Bye, everybody. I
Bye.
hope we learned one or two from this and now know how to communicate better. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.